Shoot for the moon and welcome everybody to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. In this episode, we will give you our review for Hello Tomorrow Episode 5, now streaming on Apple TV+. Hey, if you're new to the channel, please remember to like and share to your friends. It'll greatly help us out. And check out our other playlists as well. We do plenty week-by-week reviews. Dylan, this was a pretty interesting episode. I think some of your predictions are starting to come true, but let's get your thoughts.
Yeah, when I watched this episode, I was like, oh, I called it. Yeah, so we see that things right from the get-go aren't what they seem to be. Yeah. And I think it was kind of like building up to this moment. So in the beginning, I'm not going to give too much away, but we kind of see like the customers' perspectives of, from the deals that, Jack makes, his buyers, basically. We see like what actually goes on after they make the sell, right? And I was kind of thinking about that from episodes 1 to 4. I was like, well, like, are the customers like, are they like satisfied like with these condominiums? So this episode explores that, and this whole episode kind of touched on like truth and like a lot of secrets are being held from characters. Like Jack is of course lying to Joey. But you also see Herb, like his wife is also keeping secrets as well. And also we kind of see like more interaction between Mabel and Kostopoulos.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like changing his perspective on things. Probably out of love, or at least like his need to help people, right? But what are your thoughts on this episode?
Yeah, so I think that's an interesting storytelling device. It's like having, I think for the most part, each episode started with the customer's point of view. And, it's I think Jack is setting up, so I don't know, some type of scheme, right? And we could kind of clearly see that kudos to Billy Crudup too, because he does such a great job. Not only is he acting, but he's trying his best to seem like he's trying to lie well. And I think that's really interesting, the way how he pulls that off. I think so. Kudos to him. And yeah, I think that's a great storytelling device, because we see the customer's perspective, and now we're getting a sense that something is fishy. And now it makes sense why they keep moving place to place, is to not get caught. So yeah, I'm not going to give too many spoilers away, but some of the comments that we've seen, you guys are pretty spot on, I think. So yeah.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that about Jack, because I kept thinking like Billy Crudup is an incredible actor, but the character of Jack is such a bad actor in the show. Because there's times where like Shirley will like ask him questions like, okay, well, who do I go to for this or that? And the way he lies through his teeth, it's so obvious. I don't know why Shirley can't like pick up on it. I think she's starting to suspect it. I think towards the end when she has like that conversation with Jack, I think like it's starting to seep in her mind that maybe Jack is kind of like in on this scheme that you mentioned. Yeah, the way that he like talks, and even like the way he talks to Joey, he's kind of like has this facade, right? I think like Jack is like a person that like he drinks his own Kool-Aid. I think like he thinks he's trying to make a better impact on people's lives, but at the end of the day, I think he's really hurting them.
Yeah, and I also think that he kind of reminds me of Leo from Catch Me If You Can with Tom Hanks. Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, I wonder if Shirley, she's a pretty smart woman, so I'm actually thinking, what if she is in denial in a way? I don't know. It's like with her, I guess their boyfriend, Eddie, he does all these things. He's very irresponsible, yet he gifts her something and then she just forgets about it, right? It's like something like she's attracted to just the money or some valuable thing. And like I'm thinking, well, maybe that's just her thing. Maybe she knows this is all bull, but she wants to keep it going for the sake of keeping it going. And again, they form their own tribe. It's kind of like a moving circus going around town. That's why sometimes this reminds me also of Bubble Boy. It's like you got your circus and then you make family with the members in the circus. And it's like they all have their ups and downs, but for the most part, they have to figure it out at the end of the day. And who's going to mess that up? Always Lester. I was not going to say the last name. Lester keeps messing it up. And I feel bad for Lester too, because Myrtle is like using him. Now that we would get to really see, I think that Myrtle's really using him. I still hope I kind of shipped them though. I just want to see just for the hell of it.
Well, I kind of like that Lester is going through his own like kind of transformation as a character. He's a very like like legalized minded person, and he's like that by the book kind of guy. But I think like the more he kind of talks to Mabel, and I think maybe he's like developing like feelings for her, I think he's kind of questioning his own kind of code. As we see in this episode, he kind of does something that is like against the rules per se. And then we also see like some new characters in this episode too. We saw Jack is getting the hots for this one lady at this party. Do you think like she's gonna help them or hurt them? Like what?
I think she's gonna hurt them. I think she's a snake in the weeds. I really do. I think that. Sorry, I'm gonna call. I think that she is more efficient at her job than Lester is. Like she comes from a higher up place. So this is a new character. And so you guys are gonna see her at the party. And yeah, I think she's just setting things up. She has like a great way of like reverse psychology or something like that. And I think really this is each episode's kind of like gonna end on not so much as a high note. I think it might be on a somber note. That's what I'm getting the sense of, that all these lies will eventually catch up with these with the crew. So yeah,
all these lies.
Yeah.
I think Jack is the one hurting this business the most, and it's funny because he's the one initiating these schemes, right? But I think he's gonna ruin it because he tries to get too close to people, right? That lady that we mentioned, I definitely think she could hurt them, but only because Jack is gonna get too close to her and get the hots for her. That it's gonna become like mixing business with pleasure, and then it's gonna end up being like this explosive, finale. And now we've kind of seen that his relationship with Joey is kind of teetering towards something more negative, because there was a scene where Joey's kind of figuring out what's going on. Not necessarily that Jack is his father, but with the business practices. So I think everybody's kind of like realizing like the environment around them is changing, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's that sad thing too. We even see Jack later on rehearsing, like trying to tell the truth. It seems like the truth eventually will come out. It'll eventually seep out. It's something that it's inevitable. But okay, what would you rate this episode?
I mean, the episode was interesting, but it didn't really like captivate me the way that the first 3 episodes did.
Yeah.
I'd say this is probably the lowest tier of the episodes that we've seen so far, so I'd probably give it like 6 out of 10. How about you?
You're right. I think I'll give it a 6 out of 10 too. I mean, I had the hook. Now we kind of see things getting revealed along the way, and now we get the sense of like, oh, where is this gonna go? But everybody, that is our review for, again, Hello Tomorrow, episode 5, now playing Apple TV Plus. Remember, please like this video and also comment if you really like the show. I mean, a lot of people are on the fence about the show thus far. We're liking it. It's not bad, right? So I think it's worth your watch. But Dylan, as always,
if you guys have any other recommendations for shows you want us to review, please drop a comment, leave a like. Anything helps the channel. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor, as well as YouTube. We're now putting out shorts for Instagram and YouTube, so you can check out clips of those of our episodes as well. We're finally reviewing Mandalorian Season 3. We just did the first episode, so check that as well. And we're doing Creed 3 this week, and also Last of Us episode, I believe, 8 or...
Yes, episode 8.
So yeah, definitely check us out, guys. But yeah, until then, shoot for the moon, and thanks for having lunch with us.
Shoot for the moon. Thank you, guys. See you.